Welcome to Bandera, Texas, the true cowboy capital of the world. This small town in central Texas packs a big punch and really takes you to a different time and place. A place you thought was long gone, but today I'm going to show you that it is not only alive, but is thriving. Join me on a journey as we explore this hidden gem nestled in the Texas Hill Country. Hey everyone, JP here, and welcome back to another episode of Project Gaia. Today we are in somewhere very special, as you could tell by what I'm wearing. We are in Bandera, Texas. This is the cowboy capital of the world, and it is rightfully so because it really has that quintessential Texas cowboy vibe. Sometimes people come to Texas and they don't kind of see what they think they're gonna see, but this is the quintessential place that you think of when you think of Texas, right? So you have that kind of dusty environment, the old world kind of 19th century buildings, that kind of cowboy attitude, and it really prides itself on being the cowboy capital of the world. So what we're going to do on this tour is we are going to explore Bandera. I'm going to show you the coolest things to do and see while you're here, learn a little bit about the town's history, and just explore everything that Bandera has to offer. So, let's begin. In the heart of Texas Hill Country, where the spirit of the Old West lingers in the dust, lies Bandera. Once a frontier outpost and a stopping point for cattle drives along the Great Western Trail, this town still beats to the rhythm of galloping hooves and honky-tonk melodies. Here, time slows. Stories echo from weathered barns and dance halls where legends were made and traditions endure. Whether you're riding the trails, two-stepping under the stars, or sharing tales over slow-smoked barbecue, Bandera invites you to live the cowboy way, if only for a while. So dust off your boots, saddle up, and step into a land where history rides on the wind. So one place that you want to check out when you're in town is the Western Heritage Trails Park. So now what it really is just a small park, but within it you can go and it kind of has that cowboy theme, and you can learn a little bit about the history of the area and why this is recognized as the cowboy capital of the world. Bandera's Western Heritage Trail Park stands as a tribute to the pioneers, cowboys, and cattle drivers who forged a life on the untamed frontier. The echoes of hooves still linger in the wind, whispering tales of the Great Western Cattle Drive, where herds once thundered northward, shaping the destiny of the American West. Just beyond the park, a different kind of history stands tall. This is the Bandera County Courthouse. Built in 1890, its limestone walls hold the weight of justice, resilience, and the spirit of a town that has stood the test of time. These halls have seen ranchers settle disputes, lawmen upheld order, and the Wild West slowly give way to the modern age. The next thing you have to check out is the Frontier Times Museum. Now what this is basically a museum devoted to Bandera County and basically pioneer living in general. So it's about kind of living in, rustic environment, that old West vibe, and, mostly from the 19th century. So like, Victorian 1870s, but with like a cowboy flair. So it's definitely something interesting to see, and you can learn a lot about Bandera and the Texas Hill Country and the Wild West in general. So definitely check this out when you're here. Step through the doors of the Frontier Times Museum and step back into a world of grit, legend, and survival. Here, relics of the Old West whisper stories of pioneers, outlaws, and ranchers
who carved a life from the Texas frontier. From ancient artifacts to Wild West treasures, every piece holds a tale waiting to be discovered. In Bandera, history isn't just remembered, it lives on.
So if you want to check out a unique souvenir store, I highly recommend the Bandera General Store. Now, it's actually housed in a historic building. It's over 100 years old. It has the original tin roof, and it just has all kinds of interesting and quirky souvenirs that you might want. And they're kind of Western themed, cowboy themed, Texas themed, all that kind of stuff. And they actually have a resident ghost named Henry, so it is haunted. So, customers report all kind of weird things going on. But it has a lot of cool merchandise, and it's a nice place to drop in on when you're here.
Definitely make sure you check out the Bandera General Store. Here, time slows and nostalgia fills the air. This is more than a shop. It's a living relic of the Old West, where shelves brim with antiques, cowboy treasures, and the sweet scent of homemade fudge. Beneath its weathered beams, the past lingers, inviting travelers to sip a soda from the old-fashioned fountain and lose themselves in a simpler time. Now, just down the street, also check out a more modern version called the Cowboy Store. This store stands as a temple to Western tradition. Here, the soul of a cowboy is stitched into every boot, shaped into every hat, and tooled into every belt. Whether you're a seasoned rancher or a dreamer chasing the open range, this is where the West lives on. One buckle, one spur, one step at a time. Bandera hums with the spirit of the Old West. Saloons still echo with laughter. Leather-clad saddles rest outside of storefronts, and the stories of cowboys, outlaws, and pioneers live on in every weathered plank and stone. This is a town where the past isn't just remembered, it walks beside you, tipping its hat as you pass. But beyond the last storefront, beyond the fading sound of country music, the wild heart of Texas stretches into the hills. The rugged trails wind through cedar and mesquite, leading to endless skies where only the wind and the call of a hawk break the silence. Out here, the frontier still breathes, untamed and waiting for those who dare to chase the sunset.
So one thing that I recommend that you definitely do when you're in Bandera is to check out one of the area dude ranches. Now, I was recommended this one. This is Cortez Ranch. Now, this one is very interesting. You could actually stay here. There's guest cabins. There is a pool, campfires. You get fed 2 meals a day if you stay here. And then they have all sorts of activities. They have horseshoes. They have horseback riding. They have kind of like a campfire and stories at night, and you could also hang out with all the animals. You could hear them right now. You could feed them and pet them, and they come right up to you. They're very friendly. So it definitely adds to that whole cowboy Western experience, and I recommend staying here. You don't have to stay here though. You could just come onto the grounds and hang out with the animals and learn a little bit more about it and do some of the activities. They're very friendly and very open to everything.
I watch 'em burn until I forget we're through. Baby, tell me what to do. Promises.
At Rancho Cortez, the Cowboy Way isn't just a memory, it's a way of life. And a visit to a dude ranch like this isn't just a getaway, it's a return to something real. It's feeling the warmth of a horse's coat beneath your hand, watching the dust rise as cattle move across the pasture, and learning the quiet language of the land. Whether you ride, rope, or simply listen to the whisper of the wind through the oaks, Rancho Cortez isn't just a place, it's an experience, etched in leather and dust, waiting to be lived.
You're just a cowboy.
So one thing that you have to do when you're here in Bandera is go horseback riding. So I chose to go with Bandera Historical Rides. There are lots of different vendors, but I chose to go with this one. They have really good reviews. And what they do is you book it online, and then they meet you here at Hill Country State Natural Area. So you come here, and it's about a 2-hour ride. They have different rides. They have one that goes through town. They have the sunset one, which is what we're going on, and then they have various different types of rides. And you can get on the horse, you can go horseback riding, you go deep into the hill countryside, right? So you go on these amazing, beautiful scenic trails, and you watch the sunset, and it really is very interesting. So definitely check that out when you're here.
As the sun drifts toward the horizon, the Texas hill country comes alive in a golden glow. The world is quiet, except for the steady rhythm of hoofbeats on the dusty trail. The scent of cedar and wild sage linger in the air, and the wind carries whispers of an untamed past, of cowboys, pioneers, and the endless call of the open range. A sunset ride here isn't just a journey, it's a passage into something timeless. With every step, the land tells its story, and for a moment, you become a part of it. This is Bandera, this is the West, and this is a ride you'll never forget.
So I asked my tour guide on the horseback riding, Tom, I asked him what is the best and most authentic place to have dinner in town. And he recommended this place. It's called TJ's at the Old Forge. Now, it has a completely Texas style, completely cowboy vibe in here. I mean, it really is what you think it is, right? And they feed you a lot. They give you a lot. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? So expect to get a lot of food. But I'm hungry after the ride, after showing you guys everything to do in Bandera. I'm very hungry. So I decided to get cheese curds and chili as an appetizer. And then I'm getting a big, juicy 14-ounce ribeye along with some sides. So it really is, that authentic Texan hearty food. So definitely check this out when you're here. Now, for such a small town, Bandera has a lot of nightlife. There are several bars, and they're all, cowboy, western themed. It's a really good time, and most of them have live music. Now, we're here on a Friday night, so I'm expecting it's going to be pretty bumping. So let's check out one of the bars that I was recommended. This is called Cowboy 11th Street Bar. So let's head in.
The 11th Street Cowboy Bar stands as a beacon for outlaws, dreamers, and two-steppers alike. Under the glow of string lights, guitars wail, laughter echoes, and the dance floor sways to the rhythm of the frontier. This isn't just a bar, it's a Texas tradition where every night feels like a legend in the making.
And as long as there's a song left in this soul,
So one thing that Bandera does that's pretty cool is they do on select Saturdays something called Cowboys on Main Street, and that's behind me. They're setting up them. So what they do is they do reenactments, gunfights, chuck wagons. They kind of really get into the character of the whole cowboy vibe. So it's definitely something to see if you're here on a Saturday morning. Come by. They got food. Everyone's really friendly, and it's open to the public, and it's free.
Cowboys on Main Street is a family-friendly and funny reenactment of the Old West and cowboy life right in the center of town.
hands. See how good I am? I told you I wanted to do 3. Okay? That's
Here you see reenactments of actual cowboy stories from the far past and recent past. I love that the actors are keeping the tradition alive and unapologetically love their heritage and roots, not giving in to the herd mentality of the masses in the modern world.
Okay, guys, this was Bandera, Texas, the cowboy capital of the world. What I love about Bandera is it doesn't feel gimmicky, it doesn't feel kitschy, it feels real. This is really where cowboys go, right? So it's kind of a dying breed, but it really is alive here. And it's definitely something that you should see if you're here in Central Texas, in the San Antonio area or the Hill Country. Listen, guys, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video, share this video, and let me know your comments and questions below. Okay, guys, until next time, take care. Bye.